And meeting royalty must have been special, as you said, but also nerve-wracking. I mean, you were responsible for functions at the Royal Agricultural Society, serving the Queen lunch, basically. Big responsibility.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was fun, but yes, it was nerve-wracking, but the actual thing of doing it, actually face to face and shaking the hand, of the person, sometimes you always think of this, whatever it is, removed, and I think, I'm shaking a hand who's shaken the hand of every, person, leader in the world, sort of thing. No, it's fascinating. There were times, once I was standing where I shouldn't have been standing, and the door shut behind me, and I couldn't get out, and the Queen came in, the lady in waiting, so passed me the Queen's coat that I had to look after, and I thought, what do I... And so I took it out the back, had a quick look at the label and things, so this is the Queen's coat. A few, in the middle of the afternoon, sort of panicked, people would come around and say, have you seen the Queen's coat? And I said, yes, I've got it. I think, well, if I could have kept it and flogged it for a fortune, I just think...
Your mother would have been very proud.
My mother would have been, no, she would be horrified. But, there are other cases with the royals. The Princess Anne came one day and she didn't eat anything, and I sort of quietly whispered, is anything else good? And she looked at me, and if looks good kill, I'd be dead, it was just horrified. And I spoke to the lady in waiting, and said, well, yes, of course, the princess is a bit of a stickler, for protocol. And of course one knows one never speaks to a member of the royal family unless they speak to you first.
Yep.
So I thought, right, that's a telling off. Next day we had the Queen Mother, and we were clearing up afterwards, and I noticed a handbag under the chair, and I suddenly realised that's where she was sitting, and I suddenly thought, this is the Queen's handbag. It weighed a ton. I was convinced there was a Guinness bottle in the bottom, but could hardly close it. And I went into the drawing room, knocked on the door very carefully, no answer. So went in, door opened, and I just went across to the sideboard to put it on the sideboard, only out of the corner of my eye to see this little lady sitting on the sofa with her shoes off, wiggling her toes like this. And I thought, God, it's the Queen Mother. And I remember looking at her, and she looked at me, and I thought, say something. I'm not allowed to speak to you first. And eventually she did. It seemed like an eternity. And she was lovely. She said, can I see that? And I took it over to her. I said, I'm always leaving that damn thing around. She said, and she was lovely. But then very shortly afterwards, the lady in waiting appeared. And she frog marched me out of there. She was horrified that I was just chattering away informally with the Queen Mother. But, there were many occasions that you had that, will always stay in my mind, and wonderful situations.